Welcome to my channel IGCSE with Sadaf. Today we are going to learn what type of chemical bond is present in any substance: metallic, covalent or ionic. Let us start. There are different types of chemical bond: metallic, covalent or ionic bond. Although there are many other types of bonds like coordinate covalent bond or dative covalent bond, but in IGCSE syllabus we will cover only these types of bondings. Before starting the types of bonding, we will have a look over periodic table. So group 1, as you know, it is all about metals. Group 2 is all about metals, and this block is also made up of transition metals. These are all metals. Group 3 has aluminium, which is a metal, and group 4 starts with non-metals like carbon, silicon, which are famous non-metals here. Group 5 also non-metals. So afterwards there are all non-metals. Group 6, group 7 and group 8 are all noble gases which are not reactive because their outer shell are full of 8 electrons, or you can say they have complete octet, except helium. Helium is having 2 electrons in the outer shell, which is a stable shell. The first shell is made up of 2 electrons, so it is already complete, but the other elements are reactive. So what kind of bond is metallic bond? Metallic bond exists in all the metals. A metal could be gold, silver, iron, copper, aluminium, zinc, also sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium or aluminium. These are all metals. In metals, the bonding is called metallic bonding. It exists between positive ions or cations and delocalized electrons. Actually, the outer electrons or outer shell electrons or valence electrons are delocalized from their outer shells, and they are arranged as a sea of electrons. So the force of attraction or the electrostatic force of attraction between these delocalized electrons and metal ions, this is called metallic bonding, which is acting as a glue and it is holding the structure of metal. Remember that if it is group 1 metal, they will lose 1 electron per atom. If it is group 2, then there will be 2 electrons per each atom, and group 3 will lose 3 electrons for each atom, or you can say cation. So in metals, there is a sea of free floating valence electrons or free delocalized electrons which are not attached to any one atom. They are free to move, also called free mobile electrons. And the properties of metals are malleable because their shape can be hammered and made into different structures. Ductile, they can be pulled out in the form of wires, as you know, copper wire or aluminium cable. They are good conductor of heat and electrons because they have free mobile electrons. In all the states, they are good conductors, all the metals. What kind of bonding is ionic bonding? Ionic bonding exists between metal and non-metal. So metal atoms and non-metal atoms, this kind of bonding is called ionic bond. Some examples are sodium chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium oxide, aluminium chloride. How to define it? Electrostatic force of attraction between oppositely charged ions in a chemical compound, and this it gives rise to crystalline lattice, which is made up of oppositely charged ions alternative to each other. So group 1, group 2 or transition elements or aluminium, they make bond with the non-metals, any of the non-metal. It could be oxide, fluoride, chloride, bromide, nitride, phosphide, and this kind of bonding is called ionic bond. This diagram is showing you different types of ionic compounds and the bonding in the ionic compounds like magnesium chloride. So magnesium loses its 2 valence electrons and it is bonded with 2 chloride ions. Each chloride has accepted one electron. You can see a different electron. So a kind of bonding exists between magnesium and chlorine. This is called ionic bond. Similarly, sodium is from group 1. It loses only 1 valence electron and one chlorine atom will make a bond with it. It will accept one lost valence electron from sodium, and this kind of bonding exists between sodium and chlorine. It makes sodium chloride, which is an ionic bond. Calcium chloride. So each calcium is losing 2 electrons because it is from group 2. Calcium loses 2 electrons and each chloride will accept one electron. So it makes a bond between calcium and chloride. Calcium chloride CaCl2. This is how you write down the ionic bond formation. Then comes covalent bond. It is also called non-metallic bonding. It exists between nonmetals or in non-metallic elements. A covalent bond consists of mutual sharing of one or more pairs of electrons between two atoms. In the last picture, you saw it was a transfer of electron. So ionic bond is transfer of electron between metal and non-metal. Metal atom always gains positive charge and non-metal atom always gains negative charge. And here you see it's a sharing of electrons. Ionic bond was a transfer of electrons and covalent bond is a mutual sharing of electrons. Some examples of simple covalent molecules are methane, hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid, water and ammonia. So the bond between carbon and hydrogen, because each C is bonded to 4H, carbon has total 6 electrons, 2 in the first shell and 4 in the outer shell. The outer shell is all bonded to 4 hydrogen. Hydrogen has 1 electron in the outer shell and chlorine has 7 electrons in the outer shell. So 1 electron from hydrogen and 1 electron from chlorine will be mutually shared. It's a single bond between HCl. Here you can see water. In water there is a covalent bond. Each oxygen is bonded with 1 electron to another hydrogen. Each oxygen is bonded to 2 hydrogen atoms with covalent bond. There are 2 single covalent bonds and oxygen is having total 6 electrons in the outer shell. So 1 electron is bonded here, 1 electron is bonded with other hydrogen and 2 lone pairs are existing there as a lone pair. These lone pairs are not participating in bond formation. Another example is ammonia. 1 nitrogen is bonded with 3 hydrogen and nitrogen has total 5 electrons in the valence shell. So 1 pair of electron is existing as a lone pair. This type of bonding is called covalent bond, and some examples of simple covalent molecules are explained to you. Then comes giant covalent structures. Some examples in IGCSE syllabus are diamond, graphite and silicon dioxide or silica. Diamond and graphite are 2 forms of carbon and this is silica, which is a silicon dioxide. These are giant covalent structures with very high melting points. In diamond, each carbon is bonded to 4 other carbons with covalent bond, and in graphite, each carbon is bonded to 3 other carbons with the covalent bond. And in graphite, the carbons are arranged in the form of layers of hexagon, and there are weak forces between hexagon layers. That's why these layers can slide over each other. Graphite is the properties of diamond and graphite are very different from each other. Diamond is a hard and graphite is a soft material. Diamond is a poor conductor of electricity and graphite is a very good conductor of electricity, because you can see that each carbon is bonded to 3 carbons and 1 electron is free, and this 1 electron which is delocalized, so these electrons can carry the electric current. So it was a very quick review of all the types of bonding: ionic, covalent and metallic. You can easily distinguish now what type of bonding is present in any particular substance. I hope you understood the lecture. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, you can ask in comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video. Thank you so much.